Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and this is PIP Mondays. It's a beautiful thing. Ladies and gentlemen, also do remember to donate to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, to keep this family-friendly show going. We ask you to donate as we also get ready to go to Jamaica. We're putting our final preparations together, and we shall be there and going live for you to see what's going on. So you can look down below and you can see the many ways you can donate to the show to keep the show alive. So ladies and gentlemen, also, we always say, pray going out, pray coming in, and always remember, God is in control. I am aware, ladies and gentlemen, of the bad situation in Jamaica. Many tonight are listening out for that sound of a loved one coming in who will never come home. A lot of people have nowhere to sleep. They've lost everything. It is sad. However, there's hope. And I got to say to you, never lose your faith in Jesus Christ. Everything happens for a reason. But together we're stronger, because there's many people out there working to get things back to normal. I know as the communications come online, you hear a lot of bad news, a lot of angry people. I know I share your sentiment, but we ask you to be a little bit patient. Thank God that you're alive today. You made it through. Many others didn't, and they're still looking for the bodies of those who have exited this earth. So we got a lot to give God thanks for. And we got to give each other encouragement to keep going, keep rebuilding, and build back stronger than before. United we stand, divided we fall, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to start out tonight with a prayer. I'm going to share that with each and every one of you to give you some inspiration and hope. It is necessary for us to have reverence in this time, to exercise patience, because there's a lot of people blaming God, they're blaming the government. However, they have not taken time out to think how blessed we are. It could have been a lot worse. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start out with a prayer to inspire all of you to come to your meditation. Take a moment to thank God for all that He has done for us. It is necessary. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me share that with you right now, and then we'll continue the show. Here we go.
Name, with an awakened soul. Good morning, Lord my God. Today I rise in your name, with an awakened soul, a steady heart, and a spirit ready to conquer. On this Monday, November 3rd, I declare that your power goes before me in every step I take. This will not be just another Monday. It will be the beginning of a week of victories, of answers, of turnarounds, and visible miracles. Lord, come into this day and take control of everything. Break the chains of envy, destroy every arrow of the enemy, and erase every word of defeat spoken against me. Nothing can touch the one who is protected by you. Strengthen my faith, renew my courage, and give me boldness to move forward even when the wind blows against me. for I know your power is greater than any storm. Today, I declare with authority, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No plan of evil can stand in your presence. Your spirit guides me, your love protects me, and your name guarantees my victory. May this Monday be marked by deliverance, by open doors, and by signs of your faithfulness. I begin this day with faith, courage, and gratitude, because I know you are already working in my favor. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen, ladies and gentlemen. We do need that. I know it's difficult, but help is on the way. And a lot of people around the world want to donate. So I want you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell, because I'm going to share some information with you. A lot of you may have seen it. However, there's a lot of other people that don't know. So places like Food for the Poor, the Red Cross are great places to go. Also, the Jamaican government has a website that you can also tap into, and there's many ways you can donate to the recovery effort. So I want to share that with you right now, so you can get a pen, or you can look back on this podcast, and you'll see where where to go. So I want to share the website, and also I'm going to put up a still picture of the website. You can write it down so you can get to this website. So let's look at it. It's from the Jamaican government. I think that's a safe place. There's a lot of people who are soliciting help, stuff to help the recovery effort. However, you got to be careful as you move along, because there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there. So, you can safely say you can go here to this website. It's the Jamaican government website that you can donate. Let me move the banner so you can see a lot more going on down here. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me move that banner, and then you can see a lot more. Here we go. So, there's different aspects of the website. It says Hurricane Melissa Relief, Rebuilding Lives. So if you look at the top there, you see info@oddpem.org.jm. There's also a telephone number of 1-877-906-9674. And also you have other information here. You can read upon it in your own time. Let me get the spelling of this website that you can go to for those who can't see it. Let me get it up there for you, and so that you can see where to go. So here you go: supportjamaica.gov.jm /question sign, the letter S, the equal sign 08. Or you can just say supportjamaica.gov.jm, and you'll get there just the same. All right. So this is what the website looks like. I'll put it up there for you again. And so you can see, here we go. So this is what the website looks like. Let me move the banner, and so you can see a lot more going on there. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get that. All right, so that banner is moved. Let's move the other one, and you can get a clearer picture of what's going on here. All right, so this is the Jamaican government website that you can actually look at. You can go there if you want to donate to Jamaica. And there's also other entities that are there, and I'm going to touch on that in a short time here on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, be patient as we look to do that. So here you go. So that I want you to have a clear look at what it looks like. So I know you want to donate. You want to get things going in Jamaica real quickly, back up and running. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. I'm going to touch on some of them and also continue to research for you and get you up to the minute information of what's going on with the recovery effort, how things are going. There's a lot of damages in Jamaica, and we're seeing mostly in the lower areas. But when you get up into the mountains, into the hills, because there's no cell communication or signal, so to speak, that people can send out those videos, there's a lot of devastation in those mountains. People are wiped out. So we're seeing a lot on the flatlands and in the towns and so on. But there's a lot more damage to be seen in the hills and the mountains of Jamaica. So let's continue to move to also talk about the list of things that you can donate. There's a lot of, you may be wondering what you can donate apart from money. There's a lot of systems down, ATMs, banks, and so on, who are trying to get back online and even trying to get to the paymasters and MoneyGrams and Western Unions. A lot of those locations are wiped out. So it's very difficult to get to them at this point or to get funding in. Some locations, especially, I'll just touch on a couple in South Central Jamaica. That's in Mandeville. This has to do with Paymaster. The Paymaster, you have Paymaster locations in Mandeville up and running, but there's also a problem with funding. You know what I mean? So they do not have a lot of funds, and that takes a while to get replenished because there's a lot of people overrunning the system, and also there's a security issue getting the funds to the locations. All of that logistic has to be worked out because nothing is normal at this point. So you have to have a little bit of patience. But for those in the St. Thomas, St. Anne's, and I'll get you some more. You can go on the Paymaster website or Facebook page, and it tells you where it's operational at this point. So these are only some of them. And I've touched on Manchester, St. Anne, St. Mary, St. Thomas. However, there's a lot more in other parishes that are open. If you can get on the website, or your family member can do that for you and tell you exactly where it's open. So go on Facebook, Paymasters page, and it will guide you to which locations are open. So you can check that out on the Facebook page for Paymaster, and also you can check out also MoneyGram and the other remittance services. So sometimes it takes a little while to get to them. However, Paymaster and MoneyGram and also Western Union, only some locations are open according to my information up to today. So if you will understand as we go along in the show what I'm talking about, there's also mobile connections coming back online in some areas. Santa Cruz was devastated. However, Digicel announced that their service is coming back online in Santa Cruz, and that's a welcome change there because there's a lot of devastation in Santa Cruz. So let's look at this here. These are kind of the JPS schedule to restore power. So this has the dates and locations that they're actively working on at this point in time to get back online. And then a lot of this information you should have had during the course of the day. But for those who are working or too busy and not able to get on to research all of this information. I'll help you out right here so you can understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can look at the locations that are now being coming back online. That's a welcome change. They're working at lightning speed to bring other areas into the light, we say. So there's a lot of areas that are out of power, and they're working the best they can to get it back online. Also, as I said, Digicel has also made it clear that they're working to get things back on track for a lot of people in Jamaica. So if you remember, team, let me get Digicel up here so you can understand what's going on. And here we go. So let's bring that on the stage. There you go. So let's get that there. Here we go. It says Santa Cruz, you've been reconnected. And that's a beautiful sign from Digicel. That's a sigh of relief. You also have a lot of Starlinks and so on. Let me give you how to get connected wherever you are, because you may not be able to get online where you are because the connections are down. However, there's there's a way to get connected based on my research here. So let's get that off to you right now. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to put that on the screen. For those who are not able to get online, there's a way you can connect, and this lady's going to tell you how to do it. So you want to pay close attention. So like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and let's get to it. Share this, ladies and gentlemen, as so that others can benefit from getting online or getting their phones connected so they can talk to their loved ones. So let's listen carefully. Get your pens and paper. You may need to do that. Here we go.
On your Android, please share this video. Open your settings app and tap on network and internet or connections. Tap on mobile network and toggle the Volt calls or enhanced 4G LTE mode. Switch to the on position, and that's it. Your Flow Starlink network will be activated. Please share this to anyone who needs to connect with their relatives and friends.
Do that again.
Here's how to connect to Starlink on your Android. Please share this video. Open your settings app and tap on network and internet or connections. Tap on mobile network and toggle the Volt calls or enhanced 4G LTE mode. Switch to the on position, and that's it. Your Flow Starlink network will be activated. Please share this to anyone who needs to connect with their relatives and friends in Jamaica.
Okay.
Here's how to connect.
I do hope that helps, ladies and gentlemen. So you can spread the word to those who don't know, and hopefully they can get connected so they can speak to their loved ones or send a message out. It's extremely important that you share this. Okay, so it's absolutely important, ladies and gentlemen. So also we've learned that the catastrophe fund has been activated. That's good news. So a lot of monies can flow into the island to start rebuilding it, and that's a beautiful thing. So let's give you a clip on that so you can understand what's going on here. It's a lot of information, so we're going to dive into that, and I'll talk about it on the other side of this video. So let's get that going, and as I said, we'll talk about it on the other side of this video. So here we go. Let's get it up here. I think I got it here. Okay, got it. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to come on your screen in less than a second. Goodness gracious me. Here we go.
Under Dr. Nigel Clark, who was Minister of Finance and the Public Service in Jamaica, Jamaica took out a catastrophe bond. It then renewed that bond, and I'm going to read exactly what was this bond, how it works, and now we've seen reports coming out of Jamaica about Unleash It. So it says Jamaica's catastrophe bond is globally pioneering the cat in a grid trigger approach, as we are the first in the world to use this. So Jamaica is the first in the world to use a cat in a grid trigger approach. The cat in a grid trigger places a grid over Jamaica and surrounding waters, with each grid having a centralized air pressure threshold. Payout is triggered if a hurricane passes through a grid and has centralized air pressure at or below the threshold for that grid. Note, the lower the centralized air pressure, the higher the intensity of the hurricane. Hurricane Melissa was below 900 millibars, so it's one of the strongest hurricanes in history. So I believe it's number two, silver medal. Right? The size of the payout is related to how many such grids are breached. So it's a granular approach, but the more grids that are breached, is the more money that gets paid out to Jamaica. So of course, what are some of these grids, the pressures? So what it said is that each of these grids is associated with a centralized air pressure threshold. For instance, the threshold applicable to grids 5, 6, and 7. Of course, I would want to know where's grids 5, 6, and 7. But 5, 6, and 7 is Montego Bay and then going east. So we're looking at Montego Bay out to St. Anne's Bay, right? So those are 5, 6, and 7. So this is an example. The grids 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 958 millibars, 945 millibars, 947, and 932 millibars. So that gives you an idea. All of the grids, from what I can see, were above 900. The lowest I'm seeing in here is 920 millibars to trigger a payout. So we have to understand where we're going. Jamaica took out insurance, and that insurance is now going to flow to the government of Jamaica and allow them to speed up the recovery. Now, here's the reality about the cat bond. Under Dr. Nigel Clark, who was Minister of Finance and the Public Service in Jamaica, Jamaica took out a catastrophe bond. It then renewed that bond, and I'm going to read.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you understand why that payout is going to be made, because where the levels of the cat in a grid were set above 900, Hurricane Melissa came in under 900 millibars. So therefore, it triggered the payout in its full entirety. So we'll see what happens there. I'll follow that up in future podcasts. So some of us are wondering what to donate. And before I touch into the rest of the program, I just want to share this with you of, it gives you an idea what to donate. What should we send instead of monies? And that this picture will help you to understand what should you send to Jamaica. What do we need? List of items to donate. So here we go. I'm gonna share that with you, and I'm also gonna share with you how should you pack a barrel if you want to send a barrel. Some of us have not sent a barrel in a while, and we need to figure out how we can do it in such a way that you maximize the amount of stuff that you want to put in there. So the list of disaster relief items for the general public, the government of Jamaica has approved a 30-day tax waiver on specific goods being imported for recovery, from Hurricane Melissa by the general public. The details are as follows. You can read it in your own time. Freeze the podcast, share it, please like, share, subscribe, and comment also. Check this out, and I've got some comments here. I gotta say greetings to these. How do skeletons call for friends? We understand what you're saying. Okay, on the telephone. Okay, so somebody's just cracking some jokes there. All right, well, welcome to the show. So these are a list of items that you can pack to send, and there's a 30-day waiver from the Jamaica Customs. So you want to take advantage of that. So that's a beautiful thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, freeze this, like, share, subscribe, comment also about how, whatever you want, questions you want to ask or who you want to reach out to. Just you can always contact me and I'll answer those questions as best as possible for you. But I wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to show you what a barrel looks like and how you can pack that barrel so that you can maximize the space to ship out to Jamaica to your loved ones and friends. So let's start with getting these on the screen for you. And there you go. So this gives you an idea, and this is also a shipping company that put that out there, guntershipping.com. And there are also various other shipping companies, but I just choose this one to give you an idea of how to pack your barrels. So there you go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So check it out. That's what the barrels look like. They said you should put sturdier items at the bottom, like cans and cleaning products, bags of rice, and so on. In the middle, clothes, shoes, toiletries, and so on. And at the top, stacks, snacks, dry goods, and so on. So you want to put things at the bottom that can bear the weight, and also save a lot more space at the top so you can pack coming up the line. So I hope that gives you a great idea of how to pack your barrels and maximize the space in the barrel so that you can send a lot more stuff. So there's also a lot of aid coming into the country from different aid workers also coming into the country from different countries and so on. I wanted to share that with you as we see that El Salvador has sent in a lot of people, and I wanted to touch on that. And I'm sure you've seen this. Many of you have seen this, but I wanted to share it with my audience for those who have not seen. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the El Salvador government sending in their troops. When I say troops, I mean people to help with the recovery of, the relief efforts and recovery of Jamaica. So here we go. So let's check that out. This is it.
The nation's main international airport, San Oscar Romero, became the staging ground for a major humanitarian operation on October 31st, 2025. At dawn, teams of rescue workers, medical personnel, soldiers and firefighters gathered on the tarmac, preparing to board an aircraft loaded with supplies bound for Jamaica. Their mission, to assist the Caribbean nation after Hurricane Melissa left a trail of destruction across the island. The operation was ordered directly by President Nayib Bukele, who authorized the deployment of specialized emergency units to support Jamaica's relief efforts. The move followed Kingston's declaration of a national emergency on October 28th, after the storm made landfall with sustained winds exceeding 150 kilometers per hour, triggering widespread flooding and infrastructure damage. At the airport, a steady stream of uniformed personnel, men and women from El Salvador's Civil Protection Agency, the Armed Forces, and the National Fire Department boarded the aid aircraft. Among them were medical teams, paramedics, and search and rescue specialists. They carried with them the Salvadoran flag, symbolizing solidarity with a nation struggling to recover from one of the strongest storms in recent Caribbean history. International humanitarian deployments ever conducted by El Salvador. According to officials, more than 300 personnel were mobilized, along with tons of emergency supplies, including food, bottled water, medicines, and rescue equipment. Fire Department Chief Baltazar Solano described the team's readiness and expertise. We are deploying a contingent of more than 300 highly trained personnel in different areas, rescuing collapsed structures, confined spaces, fast-moving waters, and floods. In other words, it is a highly select team with all the medical and paramedical capabilities to provide that assistance. As Solano spoke, members of his department prepared their specialized gear, helmets, harnesses, and protective suits, while handlers guided trained search dogs toward the aircraft's cargo hold. The inclusion of canine rescue units highlights the mission's focus on locating survivors who may be trapped in debris or isolated communities in Jamaica's hardest-hit parishes. Civil Protection Director Luis Amaya emphasized the moral significance of the deployment. Today, we are witnessing an action that reflects the highest values of the Salvadoran people: solidarity, brotherhood, and commitment to those who need it most. His words were met with applause from volunteers and soldiers assembled on the runway, many of whom had previously served in disaster relief operations across Central America and the Caribbean. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Adriana Mira, who oversaw the departure ceremony, presented the national flag to one of the lead rescue coordinators. In her remarks, she reaffirmed the government's diplomatic and humanitarian commitment. Jamaica is a friend of El Salvador. It is a nation with which we share ties. And so when they declared a state of emergency on October 28th due to the storm, President Bukele did not hesitate for a second to cooperate. El Salvador is currently playing that role of offering cooperation. The ceremony combined logistical precision with symbolic gestures of partnership. Soldiers stood in formation as containers of aid supplies, including medical kits, food parcels, and emergency water rations, were loaded into the aircraft. Rows of bottled water, tightly wrapped in clear plastic, filled the cargo bay, while boxes marked with civil protection insignia were stacked and secured. Officials confirmed that the operation was coordinated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with El Salvador's Armed Forces, the Ministry of the Interior, and the General Directorate of Civil Protection. The aircraft, a military transport plane equipped for rapid response missions, was scheduled to land in Kingston later the same day. In addition to emergency teams, the deployment includes field doctors, nurses, and paramedics trained in crisis response. Their primary tasks will be to provide medical assistance to displaced residents, restore access to clean water, and help local authorities clear debris in affected urban and rural zones. Hurricane.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fully loaded rescue mission. And we're so proud of El Salvador to coordinate with Jamaica. There's also, we have also a French Navy vessel that was en route to Jamaica. It should be there by now for the humanitarian aid, with humanitarian aid after the hurricane. And that's a great gesture. The U.S. Government also, they were one of the first on the scene in terms of aid and so on. So there's a lot going on there that is aiding with the recovery and rescue mission. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing. So we've also want to touch on why they're there. So I want to show you a few videos of why they're there, and this was the aftermath of the storm, this Category 5 hurricane, which was massive for Jamaica and the whole world. Did not, this is not something that's normal. And I'm telling you that, ladies and gentlemen, in no way, shape, or form, you should underestimate what went on here. It has been a lot of devastation, a lot of lives lost, and they're still searching to, because there's a lot of areas that are cut off, especially in the mountainous areas. And I wanted to show you a couple of this. So let's start with Manchester's Alligator Pond coastline. What happened? You can check this out. This was Little Ochi, and this was the aftermath of what was going on down there with a cleanup effort, and it is amazing to see. So let me get that on the stage for you, and let's see what else is going on in Jamaica. So hold on a second. Let's get that up and running. So here we go. Here we go. I think I've got it. Takes a little while. I'm the only one in studio at the moment. So let's get that up here. I wanted to bring that to you. But while we're getting that video loaded, there's a lot you can do to donate. So check out the government sites. There's a lot of people heading on down there. We're getting ready to go down there as well. Due to the airports just being open, relief efforts are coming in. We don't want to run in just yet, and we're packing stuff to get down there. So we'll announce when we're going to be landing in the island. I'm sure it's going to take a little while to get things back to normal. Also, I'm going to share with you what's happening tomorrow. I think from the U.S. Embassy's perspective, I heard there's a bus leaving one end of the island to the next, and I wanted to share that with you because that came in not too long ago. It was announced on this U.S. STEPS program. That's from the U.S. State Department, that they announced the initiative to bring a lot of U.S. citizens, first of all, to get them out of the country as soon as possible, so that they can get back to their normal lives. So I guess that is going to happen tomorrow, and I do believe I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to find that in a second while we're listening to a couple of these stuff that's going on in terms of the aftermath. I'm going to research that for you. So I'm still trying to get to that video and have it loaded. We're having problems loading that video up, but we'll get to it soon enough. We just have a little bit of patience, and we'll definitely get to that video. All right, so let's get it going. In the meantime, do remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. So let me get some background music going. So here we go. So Hurricane Melissa created a lot of damage. However, the recovery is on the way, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a lot to pray and give God thanks for. El Salvador, U.S., the French, and many other countries are there. Shaggy and all the scores of reggae artists and celebrities are chipping in. Mbappe from France has also donated. Many other NBA stars have also donated. So a lot of people are chipping in. Also remember that the catastrophe fund has been triggered. So the recovery is slowly taking speed. So just stay tuned. You can look back on this podcast to see how best you can connect or donate to Jamaica. There's many ways to do that. In the meantime, we're going to show you some aftermath photos and so on of Jamaica of what happened, where it happened, and also how best you can help with the recovery. It's a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you can come together and reassure others that Jamaica is strong and Jamaica is still resilient. It's a beautiful thing, I'm telling you. So here we go. Oh yeah. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna bring that on the screen. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay. I think this was Oswald. This was Alligator Pond, right during the hurricane. That's how ferocious it. You know, this was I think the beginning of it, and I'm gonna give you a view of Little Ochi, the cleanup effort that was going on there while all this was going on. Here we go. So as you check that out, it was never a good feeling when for those who were there going through the moment, seeing a Category 5, that was an experience in itself, and that's going to be great, a great story time for the grandkids if you make it that far. But it is crazy. So let's look at Treasure Beach for a second. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, these are scenes of Treasure Beach, what was going on down, the aftermath, the before and after pictures. As you can see, there's a lot of devastation. I'm sure you've seen a lot of these pictures as you go along there. So there's a lot online that you can see, on every social media and media house. However, it was not a beautiful sight, but I'm going to show you also other places that, it's unfortunate we can't see what the hills are just yet. Some people have got images, but I got to authenticate them before I bring them here. But it is devastating. You know what I mean? Yep, it is devastating. A lot of destruction, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on your screen. Mm-hmm. But let's check this out. Let's get another area on the screen here. Here we go. Let's get this one up. And let's go. All right. We have parts of Spur Tree, that video, but I think let's see about this one here. Let's get to it. Here we go. Let's check this one out. This is massive destruction here, ladies and gentlemen. So a disclaimer. Here we go. Let's take a look at that.
Yes. Look. We're going. Right off. All down right off. Right off. It's pussy clot. Horrible. Oh, storm ya. Thing right off, you know. Thing right off, you know. Thing right off. Look at this. Whole place right off. Place, brother, yo. Thing look like a whole place wreck, yo.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that's total devastation right there. That's crazy right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's your destruction. Oh yeah. So let's check this out. Let's remove that. Also, there's other areas that are cut off along the island that there's landslides and some roads were absolutely blocked, covered. So check this out. Here we go.
Yeah. This is the road, the main road, heading to Magati. We are on our way to check our colleagues at Magati Station. I haven't heard anything from them for the past 3 days. So we are heading, this is the main road, or what used to be the main road. So we are heading up there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, this is a story around the island of places that have been cut off. As I said, they're slowly coming back online, and roads are slowly being cleared, and so on. So there's more up-to-date news as we go along. We'll bring that to you. So let's remove that from the stage. Also, I want to share with you, what's going on with the relief efforts locally. Even though the island has been damaged badly, you still have a lot of resilience there, with even the security forces chipping in and saying, hey, we're here for you. You know what I mean? So I wanted to share this with you to show you some of the stuff that they're doing, the security forces are doing, and you're going to see what the condition is, especially in South Central Jamaica. And it is, especially Black River, there's a lot going on there, ladies and gentlemen. So let's bring that to the stage so you can see what I'm talking about.
Are in the west right now, assisting with care packages. We have 50 packages in this vehicle. Over here we have water and juice. And over here we have another 50 care packages. So we are doing what we can, how we know to do it in the south. Here are 5 and a whole. high five moment. And if they can assist, do the same. I'm at Black River area and give them a 360. Them see what I go on. I come back.
Yeah, man, you can see everything, man. I mean, I see it, you know.
So as we were saying, we're in the Black River here right now, and what we are seeing on the media is minimal to what we are seeing in person. Devastating. Total demolition. So, you know the medium, you know where to donate. Reach out to the relevant agencies and donate what you can. Because down here is a total catastrophe. Damages, buildings flattened to the ground, people out of food, water, baby are without necessity. People are suffering as we speak in this area. So reach out to the agencies and donate what they can. This is from the St. Catherine South Special Office. As you can see, these 3 units are South unit, and we are in the West right now, assisting with care packages. We have 50 packages in this vehicle. Over here we have water and juice. And over here we have another 50 care packages. So we are doing what we can, how we know to do it in the south. Here are 5 on a wall. High five moment. And if they can assist, do the same. I'm at Black River area and give them a 360. Them see what I go on. I come back.
Yeah, man, you can see everything, man. I mean, I see it, you know.
So as we were saying, we're in the Black River here right now, and what we are seeing on the media is minimal to what we are seeing in person. Devastating. Total demolition. So, you know the medium, you know where to donate. Reach out to the relevant agencies and donate what you can. Because down here is a total catastrophe. Damages, buildings flattened to the ground, people out of food, water, baby are without necessity. People are suffering as we speak in this area. So reach out to the agencies and donate what they can. This is from the St. Catherine South Special Office.
I had to let that play twice, ladies and gentlemen, because as the officer said, it's total devastation. It's a different view on the ground, which is much worse than what you're seeing on the screen. And it is island-wide, so donate what you can. If you want to go back on this podcast to see the ways you can donate, how to pack a barrel, where to go, and so on, you can always like, share, subscribe, comment, share this to your friends, and do the best you can to donate to the country. There's a lot of people down there who are suffering, and you know, it takes a while to get everything in place. So there's a lot more help that's needed, but you got to follow the government website, follow the initiatives, because the condition on the ground is not so good. There's a lot of cleanup that has to be done, and cleanup in every aspect of the word cleanup. You know what I mean? So that's going to take a while. They're working through it. The emergency services are working overtime. There's a lot of aid workers there, and they keep coming in. So follow the government website to see what's going on. Stay away from the bloggers who are very negative. As I said, it is a monumental event of historical proportion, and Jamaica has never seen a Category 5 before, and the devastation on the island is real. So we're getting set to go down there. We're packing what we can, and also we have to get the timing right of going down there, because there's a lot of cleanup and restoration of certain essential services. There's also flights coming out that a lot of people have come out. I told you about the STEP program from the U.S. Embassy that is catering for U.S. citizens that are going out in the morning. I don't have the link here, but I'm sure tomorrow I will, and I'll post it out there. But that transportation, I think, leaves Montego Bay to Kingston or vice versa, for U.S. citizens first. I'm sure U.S. residents are also catered for it. However, you can go onto the State Department's website, so go there and check out the information, or go on the Jamaican Embassy's website, and it should be there. So if you want to get out the country quickly and you're a U.S. citizen, check out that website. I think there's a $23 charge, which is reimbursable. So go on the website, check it out, like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. Also, U.S. citizens like myself, I want to encourage you, whenever you travel, wherever you go in the world, get on the State Department's STEP program that alerts the U.S. government of where you are, so in case of emergencies, they can reach you. So it takes certain information from you in order to reach you. And in cases like this, it's extremely important that you do, because the U.S. government will reach out to you and come and get you. So that transportation from, I think, either Montego Bay to Kingston or Kingston to Montego Bay, I'm not too sure. You got to go on the website to check it out, because I don't have the link in front of me. So, but you check it out. It's tomorrow morning. That's what I've been told. So confirm that on the government website. All right. So check that out, ladies and gentlemen. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. We also want to talk about Akabu Band. They were on our last podcast, and they got cut off because we wanted to keep it light. But we didn't cut them off. The technology failed them in the UK. So they're going to be on here at a later date. Also, the Rough Cut Band, there's plans on the way, also on the way, to get them on the show to talk about their journey in pioneering the music into the Eastern world and across Europe, Asia, and Africa, and all of that good stuff. So Akabu Band is a all females band, and they've been around almost 50 years. So I wanted to bring their story to you and have them also give you some soul-stirring music. So you stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell, ladies and gentlemen, because God knows we need it. So we say, pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in, and always remember God is in control. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and we'll be back on with a lot more information for you. Keep you updated on the recovery effort in Jamaica, and also what's going on across the globe. We have some extremely important immigration news. Those in the U.S. and those who plan to go to the U.S. and those who plan to leave the U.S. There's a lot of valuable information here for you on our next show. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, ladies and gentlemen, and stay safe. Keep donating to Jamaica. As we said, we'll let you know when we're going down there, as we have to get the timing right and we're gonna get our stuff shipped off as soon as possible. You can always donate to the show or contact the show. Just look down below, and you'll see all that information scrolling across your screen. Check out. Let's get that there. So, ladies and gentlemen, So check us out. You can share, like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. Don't forget to donate to the show to keep this family-friendly show alive as we get ready for the global journey. We'll be in Jamaica. Godspeed with the recovery and the aid packages to our people in Jamaica. We pray for you. Just have patience, they're coming. We'll build back better, stronger than before. I guarantee you. With God's willing, together we stand. Divided we fall. God bless you all. To the next show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you at the next show. Nara Promotions is at you.